Hi, I'm Ryan Nickel, CTO at DSA Ocean, and today I want to talk about how you can quickly set up a multi-hull in DELFTship and use that as a basis for a seakeeping analysis in ProteusDS. So what we're going to do is start with a new project in DELFTship, and we're going to use the multi-purpose hull form here. So we have a few options here for parametrically setting the size of the ship, and we're going to use sort of a similar basis to something we were working with previously. We have 30 meter length and a 2 meter beam, and for now we'll just have a pretty reasonably shallow draft at 1.5 meters, and then we'll just go accept. Of course, you can play around with a lot of those parameters and so forth. This is just meant to be a rough guide about, what is this going to look like and how do you go about the process of setting this up. Okay, so here's our ship. Right now, this is a monohull though, and if you've seen the other video tutorial, all you need to do for a monohull to go from here is literally just go save as and then go to OBJ. And of course, what's key is not having show both sides on. If you have show both sides on it, it will export the full mesh. We only want to do the port side though, and then it's automatically mirrored in ProteusDS. But we want to do a multi-hull here, not just a monohull. So we have to do a few things first. So the first thing you need to do is what we want to do is mirror what we have. Now, this is not the same thing as showing both sides. We're actually creating the geometry here. So this is a little bit of a funny thing. What we're going to do is go to Tools and then click on Mirror. And everything's in layer 0, so we just click that. And we want to mirror on the vertical plane and leave the default settings here. Okay, so this is not the same thing as showing both sides because now we actually have created some geometry here. Now the next thing you want to do is move this to an offset. So we'll click OK, and then we'll click the transverse direction here, and we'll pick 6 meters. So we're going to have a hull AMA separation, demi-hull separation of 12. Okay. So it may not be obvious about what's happened here, but if you go back and look at show both sides, you see that you have essentially got that this is what the complete hull, multi-hull is going to look like, right? Okay. Now we'll again turn off show both sides. We just want to have the one hull. Now you can go save as wavefront OBJ. Let's make a new folder for this. Multi-hull, and we'll call this hull.obj. Okay, so let's make a new ProteusDS ShipMo3D toolset project. So a new project, and we'll go to desktop. Here's my multi-hull project folder there. Okay, and just change that to 30, and then draft at midships 1.5. Of course, you can play with that. We can change the draft for the purposes of doing the hydrodynamics and seakeeping analysis here. Oh, I don't know why I didn't save that. 1.5 meters. I'll just make sure the draft at midships is the same here. Okay, so now we go to hull geometry source, wavefront OBJ. We'll pick our hull OBJ file here. And when we run it, everything's processed okay. And you can review some of the outputs here in terms of the number of panels and things like that, and confirming the overall beam. Let's plot panel hull here. And the default color scale is fine. I really love this ship part scale because it shows the wet hull in yellow here. And of course, that's going to change if we change the displacement. But there are 2 hulls. So remember, we put in half the hull, and numerically it's mirrored automatically. And then there's some symmetry in the hydrodynamics calculations when it's going through and doing the radiation diffraction at a later stage. But what I really wanted to show was just that the couple of steps involved in how you work with DELFTship to get everything set up, and then get that full multi-hull imported in ProteusDS for hydrodynamics analysis. So, all right, thanks for watching.